Hi, let me show you 3 useful PowerPoint morph tricks today. The first trick is to create a simple parallax effect using PowerPoint morph. How does that look? Now take a look at this. We want to send a congratulatory message to somebody. We have the text congratulations written here. Now as I click, you can see that it feels as if you are looking through a 3D confetti. Now let me show that from reverse. You can see that it feels like we are looking at the word congratulations through a 3D confetti. Now, how did we achieve this? But before that, I am Ramgopal from presentationprocess.com, the creator of Ramgopal's PowerPoint Mastery Program, a comprehensive and creative PowerPoint training program for professionals. Here I am on a new slide in a new presentation. The first step is to go to the text box tool and write the word congratulations. The next step is to insert the image of confetti like this. Now, where did I get this confetti image from? As always, I went to pixabay.com, searched for a confetti image under vectors, and I downloaded this image. Now, we want this image to occupy the entire slide. So let me zoom out a little bit, and then let us place this to one corner of the slide, and then let us enlarge this, and you can see that this is occupying the entire slide. So this is our first step. The next step is to take a copy of this by pressing Ctrl C and then right click and use this option here called picture, and that copies this as a PNG image again. Now I'm going to apply a picture effect to this. Go to picture format, go to artistic effects and use this option here called blur. Now you may not be able to see it, but this image now has blurred effect on it. Now I'm going to expand this quite a lot. Let us hold the shift button down and let me really expand it. Can you see here? It is way bigger than the previous image, and all these confetti elements look blurred, and that is because we had applied that blurred effect on top of this. So we have 3 elements here. Right at the back we have the text called congratulations. On top of it we have an image of confetti. And then we have a third image on top of it where we applied an artistic blurred effect and then we enlarged it. Now we've got our first slide. Now let us right click, duplicate the slide, go to transitions and apply Morph Transition. And then this image that we see here, the blurred large image, I'm going to rotate it slightly. So let me zoom out a little bit more and let me use this rotation handle and slightly rotate this. And then I'm also going to move this all the way somewhere like this. And then let me choose a duration for the morph transition to be somewhere around 8 seconds. So you can clearly see the impact of the morph transition. And then let us choose this image, which is right behind this blurred image. Let us deselect the word congratulations while holding the control button. Let us click on the text. Now that is deselected. Now we are going to move this sharp image all the way up as well. So that is done. So we have 2 different types of motions happening. The sharper one is going from bottom to up, and the blurred one, which is a larger one, is rotating while going up. So there is a lot of movement. Now let us go to the first slide. Go to slideshow mode. Now observe what happens. On a click, we have this beautiful illusion of parallax effect in PowerPoint Morph. It's very simple to achieve. I will leave a link to the Pixabay image in the description box below the video. Download it and try this effect for yourself and you'll be amazed at how beautiful this looks. The second trick is to learn how to morph one shape to another shape. We all know the basic way a shape morph works. We have the image of a square right in the center of the slide. Now let us create a duplicate of the slide. Now in this slide, let us extend the sides of the square from both sides, and then let us apply transitions, morph transition, and you can see that the square now extends itself into a rectangle, and it's a very simple thing to achieve, and this is how morph works by nature. Now what if we want to try something different? Let us say we have the same square. Let us duplicate the slide. This time, instead of extending the sides and making it a rectangle, I'm going to change the shape into a circle. Let us see what happens. Let us go to shape format, edit shape, change shape, and convert this into an oval. So now we have a circle. Now what happens if I apply morph transition to this? You can see that the square vanishes and then the circle appears. But what I want is for the square to morph itself into a circle. Now, how do we achieve this? A lot of presenters are not aware of a very useful trick that is available in PowerPoint Morph, which is to assign the same name to both these shapes with 2 exclamation marks at the start. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let us go to the first slide, go to Home and go to Select and say Selection Pane. You can see that this shape is called Rectangle 2. I want to change this name. Let us delete this and let us call this something. Let us say ABC. So this is the name that we are assigning to it. But instead of calling it just ABC, I'm going to call it as 2 exclamation marks at the start and then it is called ABC. Now I want to assign the same name to the second shape as well. So let us go to the second slide. Click on this. You can see that this is called as Oval 2. I'm going to call this the same name. So let us start with 2 exclamation marks and then say ABC. The name doesn't really matter, but the 2 exclamation marks are very important and both the names should be identical. Now, both of these have the same name. Let us go to transitions and apply morph transition to the second slide and see what happens. Now, let us go to the first slide, go to slideshow. I click and you can see that the square is morphing itself into a circle quite nicely. You can do the same for the reverse as well. Now let me show you another way that you can morph shapes, and that is by using yellow handles. Now let me show you what I mean by that. Let me delete this slide and then let us delete this shape as well. Now I want to start with a circle and then convert that into a square. Now how do we do that? Let us go to Auto Shapes Gallery. First I'm going to draw an oval. So the default tendency is to use the oval shape from basic shapes. I'm not going to do that. Let us go to rectangles and choose the second one called as rectangle rounded corners. And I'm going to draw a rectangle rounded corners while holding the shift button so I can constrain the dimensions. And then I'm going to use this yellow handle and move it to the center. Now I have a perfect circle. Now let me right click and duplicate the slide. And then in the second slide, I'm going to move this all the way to the corner. Now what I have is a square. Now I'm going to go to transitions and apply morph transition. And you can see that we have the circle on the first slide. On a click, it morphs itself into a square. Now you might wonder what can be the application for something like this. Let me show you what I can do with this. Let us say I want to talk about these 2 children. I want to give their names and some details about them. On a click, we say that today we are going to talk about these 2 children. And then observe how this circle, which doesn't have any fill, transforms itself when I click. You can see that it gets transformed into a rectangle which is filled, and then the name is written and the details are given. Observe again, circle transforming itself into a rectangle with fill, and then we have the details. How did I do this? Exactly using the method that I just showed you. I used rounded corners rectangle to draw the circle, and then I converted this into a rectangle. Now there is something more you can do. Let us say I have an interesting message to convey, and that is the wait is over and we have a new future that awaits, and you can see that this is the new future and it looks so beautiful. It's very interesting, isn't it? Now observe this. We have this door closing effect and door opening effect happening using morph transition, and that follows exactly the same trick that I taught you just now. If you want to learn how to achieve that, I have created a separate video on that called Easy Crazy Door Opening Animation Effect with PowerPoint Morph. I will leave a link to this in the iCard and also in the description box below the video. You can click on the link and learn this very interesting effect. The third and final PowerPoint Morph trick is to show 3D objects in style. We all know how to achieve something like this. Let us say I want to talk about the brain. I can use this 3D model available in PowerPoint. On a click, I say the top layer that you see here is called cerebrum, and then let us see on the other side, here we see thalamus, and then I move the object and I can show cerebellum, and then I can move this a little bit more and I can show spinal cord, and then I can conclude saying that that is how the brain looks. It's very simple to achieve. All we need to do is to go to the first image. Here I insert a 3D model. I can do that by going to Insert 3D Models, go to Stock 3D Models, and you can search for the image of brain. I just took this image and then I inserted it onto the slide. And the benefit of using the 3D model is I can duplicate, and then in the subsequent slides, I can move this to any direction I want, up, down, sideways, and then I can point to the specific parts and then I can label. And that is what I had done in this case. I had enlarged the image in the second one after creating a duplicate, and then I moved this slightly so I can show the top portion, and then I duplicated and then I moved the portion behind it. And that is how I have created multiple copies of this, and then I showed the first slide and then I applied Morph Transition to each of these slides. Now this much most presenters know when they know how to use PowerPoint Morph. Now not many people know that you can create these kind of 3D images yourself and you can apply a morph effect to create something very cool. For example, I can take a circular picture like this and then I can create picture discs like this. And then on a click, I can bring out the first picture, the picture disk, and then I can explain and place it to the right. And then I can show the next one and place it to the right. So this way I can explain different images in a very interesting way using PowerPoint Morph. How do we do that? Here I am on a new slide. Here I have a circular photo. The first step is to go to Home and use Shape Effects, Preset, and I'm going to choose one of these presets here. This is called Preset 12, right? Then right click, go to Format Picture, go to Effects option, go to 3D Rotation. The first one I'm going to use is Parallel Preset, and this is the one that I'm going to use called Off Axis One Top, and I'm going to keep this to one side. Then let me right click, duplicate the slide, and then place this somewhere towards the center, and then go to the same preset here and say no rotation. Then right click, duplicate the slide, and then select this. Go to presets and choose this preset this time called Off Axis 2 Top, and then I'm going to place this over here. Now let us select the second and third one while holding the shift button down, go to Transitions and apply Morph Transition. Now when I go to the first slide, on a click you can see that I show the front portion and then I keep it to the side, and that is how I stack one image after another and I can showcase the images with explanation. When done right, this is how the effect looks. It's a beautiful way to talk about different objects and their explanation. I've created a separate tutorial on how to do this. The link is provided in the iCard and also in the description box below the video. You can click on the link and learn this interesting effect next. In the meantime, do you want to learn some simple and creative PowerPoint ideas you can use in your next presentation? Then click on the link here to join our 5-day free email course called 25 Creative PowerPoint Ideas. These are simple, quick and useful PowerPoint ideas I have not shared elsewhere. So go ahead, click on the link, join the course, and I will see you inside.